popular already from the Zakarian by Dash collection is this digital infrared thermometer. What I think is so interesting about this one is that this is not giving you that internal temperature. This is literally giving you that external temperature. But for me, even during this last holiday season, I ran into so many recipes that was like, put it in oil that is this amount of temperature. Put this in a resting place that is this temperature. And I'm like, I'm not even quite sure what to do. I mean, should I get my, my sick thermometer and wave it around? No, not the case. I definitely didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, this is really cool because you're gonna bring this one home for $18.98 or 5 easy payments of $3.80. And it comes in a variety of colors here. I almost put my card down on the shrimp tempura. We don't want to do that. So we have it in the Zakarian blue. We also have it available here in the Hunter Green. Oh, here, we can hold them all together here. Zakarian Blue, Hunter Green, and the Cranberry. So all three of them available to you in these fun colors. Molly, right out the gate, how the heck do these work?
Okay, so you've seen probably the probe thermometer that you can use to temp your chicken, your steak. This is different, obviously. So this is for things that we don't want to get our hands super close to. So even temping the back of your oven, if you've got an oven that's a little off like mine is, temping the surface of a pan, which we're going to show you all of this. Again, just to keep your hand a safe distance away from the surface that you're temping is why you want that infrared thermometer.
Okay, very, very good. All right, so this is giving us that sort of infrared technology where we can be a bit of a distance away.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. So for things like, which I'm actually going to start with this, do you, have you gotten into sourdough baking at all?
I have never made bread.
Okay. It's such a fun hobby whenever you do get it started. Like my sister today is baking, so I've been talking about sourdough for the last hour.
Sis.
Yes, so she actually gave me her starter, and that's how I got started.
Okay,
but
cool.
For all of those who bake sourdough, you know that it's really crucial to keep it at around 78 degrees.
For sure.
Like I said, this will tell you if your sourdough starter is basically happy or not. We're at 74, which you can see, so that means it's a little cooler than we want. So all that means is we're going to move it to a warmer spot in our kitchen. So what this does is just take the guesswork out. You don't have to wonder, is my starter good? Is my water good? Is my oil good? You just temp it with the probe and or with the laser, and no questions asked.
It's funny that you said the water because sometimes, I mean, we'll see in a recipe that we're following and it's like, okay, you don't want the water to be boiling, but you want it to be hot.
Yes.
And you're like, well, I'm clearly not gonna touch it. And if I start seeing those bubbles start to boil up, now my water's gone wrong.
Exactly,
so
yes.
This is a perfect way to sort of gauge that.
So that you ensure success with whatever you're making. So water boils at 212 degrees. So when we're poaching eggs, which we're gonna do here in a minute, we want it a little lower than that at 180. So this, as you can see, is at 176. If you can see that, which is just below where we want it. So we're good to go ahead and add the eggs. So would you mind handing me the spider?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. So to poach an egg, super simple. We've got a little bit of white vinegar in this water, like half a teaspoon, a teaspoon. And we're just gonna create a little vortex with the end of our spider. And that's just so that the eggs sort of like wrap around themselves and create that nice cohesive shape that we recognize from poached eggs.
I love poached eggs.
I know.
But I've never made them.
Oh, have you not? Okay, well now you're gonna know how. So take the tip of your bowl and place it in the water.
Okay.
And you see how they sort of wrap around themselves like that? Yeah. So again, spiraling the water like that, and then that white vinegar. And temping your water, and like that ensures
But just a touch
success.
a touch of vinegar.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
A small amount. You don't taste it. Again, it just helps the egg sort of coagulate and hold together.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, we're learning all the things here. Well, this is great. But even like we're looking here at this sort of square cast iron that we're gonna present later on in the show.
Yes.
I mean, this is telling us it's how hot.
So this pan is super hot. It's at 528 degrees, which is, we want it at about 475 to sear steaks, which is what we're gonna do. But it's okay that it's that hot because when the cooler steak hits the pan, it's gonna reduce the temperature a little bit. So two things when you're cooking steak that's super important. You want the actual steaks at room temperature and then the pan searing hot. So again, with this infrared thermometer, you're able to gauge both of those things and not have to guess.
Why do we want it at room temp and super hot?
So that it cooks evenly.
So it's giving you that that
Have you ever
even
had
sear.
a steak where it's like charred on the outside but like raw right in the middle? It's like all different colors all the way through. If you've got your steak, now the pepper's getting me.
I know, the pepper is in the studio right now.
If you've got your steak at room temperature, it's gonna cook nice and even. And obviously we want the pan searing hot because we want that gorgeous caramelized golden crust on our steak.
For sure. And you know what? I think this is why like steakhouses like charge so much for steaks, because so many people try to make that perfect steakhouse like steak at home.
It's hard
but you
to
go
do.
wrong, and they're expensive cuts of meat.
Exactly. Yes.
So like, all right.
And you made such a good point because I mean, groceries, like we're spending a lot of money on food, and so we don't want to mess it up. So this, again, just ensures success and kind of like takes the guesswork out of what you're doing.
Definitely. And we say, you know, like cook smarter, not harder, but you got to sort of stock up in the kitchen with the equipment that's going to allow you to make the best food you possibly can, you know, make that restaurant quality at home. And with this fantastic digital infrared thermometer, you absolutely can rest assured that you've got some really cool stuff happening in the kitchen. $18.98, 5 easy payments of $3.80. 3 different color options with your Zakarian blue, the hunter green, or that red cranberry. So all very cool stuff. So literally, it's just a trigger, and then you just sort of press it, and then that kind of, almost a little like laser.
Exactly, yeah. So, and if you need to hold the temperature, you hit that center button right there, and it'll freeze at whatever temperature you've got, so that if you're multitasking, doing other things,
smart,
you don't forget what temperature. And then you can use Celsius and Fahrenheit. So there's 2 buttons on the side. You can toggle between whichever temperature gauge you need.
Cool.
But we're gonna fry some shrimp.
Let's fry some shrimp.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So when we fry, we want the oil at about 375. So that, again, when the shrimp hits, it'll drop to about 350, which is perfect.
Right.
So our oil, as you saw, was at 376. And we're just going to drop this away from our face so that we don't splatter.
Oh, very smart. Away from the face. Lay it in away.
Exactly. And we're just going to add a few so that we don't overcrowd the pan. We'll just do this in probably a batch of 2.
Nice.
This is like one of the yummiest things, shrimp tempura. I love it so much.
You know, my dad's half Japanese, so we had a lot of shrimp tempura in the Doss family house.
I love it.
Oh, we love everything tempura. This is fantastic. Oh my goodness.
These are like already looking so good.
Steak.
And again, because we had the right temperature pan, right temperature steak, like everything was working for us.
You know, that there it is. Everything is working for you, but that's just it. The right pan, the right temperature, the right cut of meat. This is it right here. So many people fall in love with this thermometer. $18.98, 5 easy payments of $3.80. The first day you've seen this price so low. So definitely want to hurry with this one with item K99026. Your choice of the Zakarian blue, the cranberry, here I can show you all right here, or that hunter green, all happening right here. Your choice of the 3. Definitely want to grab yourself one of these and start cooking smart in that kitchen of yours. Well, just a moment ago, we were shopping